A $600 check could hit your bank account in the next 60 days, and I just found the exact dates and requirements you need to know. President Trump's tariff rebate plan isn't just political talk anymore. Senate Bill 1947 is actually moving through Congress right now, and the Treasury Department has already allocated the funds. We're talking about $2,400 for a family of four, but there are specific income limits and qualification requirements that could disqualify millions of people if they're not prepared. I've been tracking government payment programs for 15 years, and honestly, this one has more concrete details than most proposals I've ever seen. When my neighbor Susan asked me, "Is this real and when would I actually get the money?" I spent the entire weekend going through the actual legislation to get her the facts. Drop a comment with your household size because I want to show you exactly what you'd qualify for and when you'd receive it. Let me break down the exact numbers from the bill itself. Every adult gets $600. Every dependent child gets $600, and there's actually no maximum household limit. So, if you have 4 kids, that's $3,000 total. But here's where it gets tricky with the income limits. If you're single and earn more than $75,000, your payment starts shrinking. For married couples filing jointly, that threshold is $150,000, and if you earn more than $95,000 as a single person or $170,000 as a couple, you get nothing at all. Now, to qualify, you need to be a U.S. citizen with a valid Social Security number, and you need to have filed your 2024 tax return. If you haven't filed 2024 yet, they'll use your 2023 return. You also need either a bank account for direct deposit or a valid mailing address. There are some people who won't qualify, though. If you're claimed as a dependent on someone else's return, you're out. If you owe more than $5,000 in back taxes, you're also excluded. The money itself comes from what they're calling excess tariff revenue collected after January 20th, 2025. According to Treasury data I pulled last week, we collected $29.7 billion in tariffs just in July alone. That's actually enough to fund this entire rebate program for several months. So, when would you actually see this money? Well, if Congress passes the bill, the Treasury Department has 60 days to set up the payment infrastructure. After that, they have another 90 days to start sending out payments. If you chose direct deposit on your tax return, you'd get your money about 7 to 10 days before people getting paper checks. Right now, the bill has 23 co-sponsors in the Senate. They need 51 votes to pass it. The House version has 67 co-sponsors, which is actually pretty encouraging. We're looking at a potential floor vote in late October or early November. The good news is that if this passes, you wouldn't need to apply for anything. They'd use your existing tax return information, just like they did with the stimulus checks during COVID. Honestly, this is much more streamlined than previous programs that required separate applications. But here's what's been bothering me as I've researched this, and I want to be completely honest with you about it. You're already paying for these rebates through higher prices on everything you buy. Tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods, and companies almost always pass those costs down to consumers. So, when you buy electronics, clothing, cars, even groceries that contain imported ingredients, you're paying tariff costs through higher prices. According to Treasury estimates, the average family is paying about $800 more annually because of current tariffs. So while a $600 rebate sounds great, you're actually getting back less than what these tariffs are costing you. It's like getting a 75% refund on a tax you didn't even know you were paying. My client Robert asked me last week, "Is it still worth it then?" My answer was simple. Yes, absolutely take the money if it comes, but understand you're not getting ahead financially. You're just getting some of your own money back. Let me be practical about what $600 actually means for different families. If you're earning around $30,000 annually, $600 covers about 2 weeks of groceries, or maybe 1 month of utilities, or about 3 months of gas for most people. For a family of 4 earning $60,000, that $2,400 could cover 1 month of rent in many areas, help you catch up on delayed bills or medical expenses, or maybe cover those back-to-school expenses that always seem to hit at the worst time. I was talking to my client Janet last week. She's retired and living on Social Security, and she told me $600 would let me finally fix my car and see the dentist I've been putting off for months. For people on fixed incomes, this money could address some real, immediate needs. But I want to be clear about something. This is temporary relief, not a permanent solution to the rising cost of living that we're all dealing with. If you want to maximize your chances of actually receiving this payment, here's what you need to do right now. First, make sure you file your 2024 tax return, even if you don't think you owe any taxes. You need to be in the system for them to send you money. When you file, definitely choose direct deposit if possible, because that'll speed up your payment significantly. And if you've moved recently, update your address with the IRS. Second, check your tax filing status. Whether you file as single or married affects your income limits, and if you're married, don't file separately because you'll actually get less money that way. Third, keep track of the legislation itself. We're watching Senate Bill 1947 and House Bill 2847. Watch for any modifications to the payment amounts or qualification requirements. And fourth, this is really important. Don't make any financial decisions based on money you might get. Pay your bills with money you actually have, not money you're hoping to receive. If this payment arrives, treat it as a bonus, not as expected income. Based on previous government payment programs I've tracked, here's what I think the realistic timeline looks like. Best case scenario, the bill passes by Thanksgiving, payments start going out in February 2026, and most people have their money by March. More likely scenario, the bill gets modified and delayed until next year. Payment amounts get reduced to maybe $400, and the income limits get lowered to exclude more people. Worst case, the bill dies in committee and gets revived as a campaign promise for the next election cycle. I've seen this pattern before. Remember, the 2020 stimulus checks took months longer than originally promised. Don't count on government speed when it comes to actually delivering these payments. Since this money definitely isn't guaranteed, I think it makes sense to focus on solutions you can implement today for the financial pressures you're facing. For high grocery prices, local food banks often have no income requirements, and you might be surprised by the quality of food available. Store loyalty programs and apps can save you 10 to 15%, and buying generic brands is usually 30 to 40% cheaper than name brands for the exact same products. For utility bills, call 211 for information about local assistance programs. Many utility companies offer payment plans or reduced rates for people struggling with bills, and investing in some basic energy efficiency improvements can cut your bills long term. If you're dealing with debt issues, contact your creditors before you miss payments. Many companies offer hardship programs during periods of high inflation. Nonprofit credit counseling is usually available for free and can help you create a realistic plan. The point is, don't wait for a government check to address financial problems you might be able to solve today. with the resources that are already available. After spending weeks analyzing this proposal, here's my completely honest assessment. The good news is that this represents real money that could genuinely help millions of families who are dealing with high prices right now. The bad news is that it's really just treating the symptoms of inflation rather than addressing the causes. You'll still be paying those higher prices due to tariffs, so you're not really getting ahead financially. From a political standpoint, even if this does pass, I'd expect delays, modifications, and complications. Government payment programs rarely work as smoothly as politicians promise they will. My advice is to hope for the best, but plan for the worst. If the money comes, that's great. If it doesn't, make sure you're not financially dependent on it. I've helped clients through multiple economic cycles over the years, and the people who do best are always the ones who focus on controlling what they can control instead of waiting for government solutions. So here's exactly what you should do after watching this video. Check your 2024 tax filing status and make sure you're in the system. Update your direct deposit information with the IRS if you need to. Keep track of Senate Bill 1947 for updates on whether it's actually going to pass. Don't delay any financial decisions while waiting for this money, and look into local assistance programs that exist right now and could help you today. If this analysis helped you understand the real details behind all the headlines you're seeing, please subscribe for updates as this bill moves through Congress, and comment below with what you'd do with $600 if this payment actually happens. Your answer might help other viewers think through their own priorities. The bottom line is this: this tariff rebate could be real money that helps real families, but it's not guaranteed, it's not permanent, and it's definitely not a complete solution to the high prices we're all dealing with. Stay informed, plan ahead, and don't let political promises replace practical financial planning. Whether this check comes or not, you still need to manage your money wisely. I'll keep tracking this legislation and update you as things develop. Take care of your finances, and I'll see you in the next one.